everyone, I'm Kendria. I need you to go like, follow, and subscribe Soul Productions.
What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking. What's up, everyone? It's another episode of Next Level Thinking, where we always bring you inspired guests to help you bring it to the next level. It's your host, Chris Holmes, as always, and today I have a special guest by the name of
Precious Price.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and hit a little bit of foundation. So tell the audience just a little bit about yourself. That way they get a little bit of summary of you, and we go a little bit more in depth.
Perfect. So, as stated, my name is Precious Price. I am originally from the south side of Chicago, where I grew up sort of in the inner city, and from there, my parents kind of very much from an early age instilled the value of education within me. So, to give a little background, I am the oldest of five.
Okay.
And growing up, there was a lot of focus on education, and then from there, I actually ended up going to high school and having in my mind, like, okay, I have to get out of here to really get where I want to go. So I ended up graduating in 3 years, going off to Indiana University, where I received my Bachelor of Science in Marketing and Technology from the Kelley School of Business. Then later on went to receive my Master of Science in Information Systems from the Kelley School of Business as well. I now live in Atlanta, Georgia, where by profession I work as a consulting analyst at Accenture, and by passion I am the CEO and founder of The Brand Table, and also a motivational speaker where I speak on various topics such as branding yourself, being a young woman in business, leveraging LinkedIn to really increase your network, inspiring others, overcoming adversity, and so many more topics.
Sounds like you have a lot of great accomplishments and much success and much more. But also, I see, like, based on what's in your words, like you have that ambition start out from like an early age. That's what it sounds. Is that correct?
Definitely.
Okay, so let me tie a little bit more in depth into that. Like, what do you think is the reason why that have that burning, like, okay, I got to get this done? Like, because a lot of people may have similar situations, but if you can explain more of like where they came from, they can get inspired from that exact situation.
Definitely. So, as I initially stated, I grew up in the inner city, so south side of Chicago, where there was, number one, a lot of violence, and then number two, my surroundings weren't very inspiring to begin with, per se. So, for instance, I am the first person in my family, immediate and extended family, to go off to college and get a college education.
Okay, so
not only my bachelor's, but my master's as well.
So I got to hit on to that. So it sounds like you had to go against a lot of negative energy in the beginning, because a lot of times, you have a lot of families or people who want to achieve their dreams and much more have a lot of similar situations where they want to get to this, they want to achieve this and much more, but it's just like the energy that's around them is constantly negative. So tell the audience, like, what was going through your mind to overcome that, because a lot of times you may be around negative family, co-workers, friends, and it can kill the energy. But how did you get out of that?
So the way that I got out of it, and honestly, I feel like it's a mentality thing. Mentally, it's in your mindset. You have to understand, number one, that, okay, I want to get out. But then number two, the way that I did it personally was I spent a lot of time alone. So I spent a lot of time by myself, number one, figuring out what do I want to do. Because we have this idea and we say that, okay, I just know I want to get out. But what plan of action will you take to get there? We have these grandiose sort of goals and ideas that we want to work towards, but we don't know how exactly we're going to get there. So I think that's just really sitting with yourself and understanding, what do I want to do and how am I going to get there? For me, that was, I need to get out of high school as fast as possible, because I understood at a very young age that any sort of under 18 or just being in school, period, your life and your actions and what you have to do is controlled by others. So, as stated, that's why I went off and I said, you know what, I'm in high school now, but I need to get out of high school ASAP so that I can go off to college and really begin studying and doing what I want to align my passions with. So I think that is the number one thing. It's just knowing yourself and then figuring out, okay, how am I going to do it? For me, it was pushing through high school, like I said, 3 years pushing through high school and then going off and saying, all right, I'm going to go off to school and I'm going to go study this. Of course, my parents were worried, and I'm young. I just graduated high school. I'm not even 18 yet on a college campus. But that's what I knew I wanted to do, and I put myself in the position to do that.
And I'm glad you brought that up too, because especially at an early age, you know, you have your parents that are concerned, because that's where that strong rise of fear comes from. And I feel like fear is the main thing that stops all of us, young and old, from reaching to our goals, because there's become that self-doubt. What if? Is this even possible? Do I have the funds? My friends and family wasn't able to do this, or am I? It's just, it all just starts that negative momentum. So the fact that you are self-aware and you knew that you were like, okay, I have to get out of the situation. So if I want to put myself in a better position, I have to take action and move right now. And so I want to go a little bit more in depth on attacking fear. So if you could say anything to the audience, what would you say to them when it comes to this?
With fear,
Yes.
it's actually one of my favorite topics. So, number one, let's start by defining fear. Fear, from me just analyzing what I understand about it, it's always a factor of what we don't know. It's not a fear of sort of going off to school. It's a fear of, oh, I'm going off to school and I don't know anything about it because I'm a first-generation college student. So whenever we're fearful of something, it's simply because we don't know what's coming. We don't know what's next. So how do you combat that? You find people and resources who are in those spaces that can give you that insight into what is coming next. Because the more that we know, the less fearful that we become, specifically about certain situations. So if you are fearful of, for instance, I don't know, I want to get out of this negative environment, this negative space, but I'm fearful that I'm not going to succeed. Now you have to find more people to speak to who are in those places that are succeeding and speak to them. Or you have to go online, find resources of, okay, how can I really break this down into separate bite chunks of pieces, or things that I could accomplish that are small but are still working me towards my goal. So it's all about gaining knowledge, information, and even more so people, building your community of people who are in spaces that you would like to occupy, but they're currently occupying, and picking their brain about it. Because that fear is all a breakdown of just gaining more knowledge on whatever you're fearful about.
Exactly. And then I want to kind of add this to you as well, as I feel like, especially in your growth stages, you don't really achieve that much, the strength or get close to your goal until you get past fear. It's like the process of making you even stronger, or giving you the learning lessons that you need so you can be ready. And if you really want to be honest and go throughout history, any person that has made a big impact to society completely, no matter what country, has took on fear head on and went outside their comfort zone. Like the list goes on, from like the people that did the first aircraft to fly, because there's a time where people thought flying with the birds was insane, to electricity with the first light bulb, the first car. It's just going outside of that comfort zone of the unknown and figuring it out.
Definitely, exactly. And that's another piece that must be understood by anyone who is, for instance, trying to get to the next level, trying to attain that success, is you have to step outside of your comfort zone in order to do so. Because outside of your comfort zone is the only place that you are going to grow. You only grow when you are uncomfortable. That is it. Because it forces you to go out and gain that knowledge. Forces you to go out and really do something, because now you're uncomfortable and you want to make yourself comfortable, right? Yep. So definitely.
Yep, it's one of those things that most people don't want to hear, but it's a lot of truth into that.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. So tell me a little bit more about your career path and what you all do. So I definitely don't want to leave that hanging, so people get a full insight of your special abilities and much more.
Definitely. So I studied marketing and technology management, and then as stated, I went on to get my master's in information systems. So currently I work at Accenture, which at the core of exactly what we do, we're a digital consulting firm. We consult on everything from strategy to management to tech, operations, and much more. But at the core, we are really leading in digital. So I entered into technology, simply because I found out during my college career, actually. So it was around sophomore year, I believe. I took a computers and business class. So I said I studied business. I took a computers and business class. And from taking that course, I realized just how much I loved the why and everything. And to explain that a little more, it was the analytics behind everything. So the computers and business course, we were studying Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Access, those tools that work to help you analyze data. And I realized that I didn't really like working with data, but I really liked understanding the trends that data sort of exuded. Mm-hmm. So from there, I went on and I was like, all right, I believe I'm going to stay within this tech path for the most part, and then overlap it with marketing, because of course that overlaps, especially in this day and age where we have so many social platforms, digital content. There's a lot to where that overlaps. So I'm really glad that I paired those two together. And then during my time within college as well, I worked in various positions to really figure out, okay, this is something that I'm good at. It's something that kind of has piqued my interest, but is it something that I could see myself doing long term? So from there, I said, you know what? Let me put myself in spaces to where I'm doing this constantly. So I got on-campus internships. Even within my internships throughout the summer, I worked in various sort of marketing and technology positions to really figure out, is this what I want to do? Because you want to figure that out very early. If we have any listeners that are in college or about to go off to college, you want to figure that out very early so that you waste no time. And when you're in college, you'll understand that time is really, really of the essence, because it goes by so fast, but you can waste your time so much in so little time. So within my master's, as stated, I then became the lead on campus for Black women in technology. And I grew that group tremendously, actually, both online and then as far as our members as well. And I went off from there. I speak on being a woman in business, and number two, being a woman in tech, and increasing that representation of minorities in technology. Because I found that being in this space, even professionally now full time, there aren't a lot of women, and there are not a lot of brown people in this space. So I work to understand, okay, how can I help bring those people there? Well, number one, it's exposing people to understanding that technology isn't just coding on your computer. Technology is literally everywhere. All of us are in technology. So understanding that piece. So then now bringing it back to my current position, I specialize in cloud here at Accenture. So everyone's familiar with cloud technology. Right. And pretty much what I do, I've been on various spectrums. So from cloud strategy to understanding, okay, what are the strategic and sort of financial benefits of a huge organization such as a healthcare company or like a financial services company moving to the cloud, moving all of their information to the cloud. What are those benefits? And then I've been on the implementation side to where it's, okay, how do we actually implement these tools into this large organization? Tools such as Google Drive, Microsoft Office 365. We use cloud every day, and I feel like people don't realize that they are using tech every single day. Like, you're using tech, you're in tech. Yeah. So you're using it every day. So everyone it's not something that's very hard to understand. Technology, you already understand it because we're so immersed within it every day. So now in my current project, because it switches every few months. My current project that I'm on, I'm specifically focusing on cloud engineering. So various services such as Google Cloud Platform, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure. How do we certify and deploy those services to our clients and internally to our employees as well? So that's what I do.
Awesome answer. And then you also went into the why, which I definitely love, because that I feel is like the root and core of any person, no matter what they're doing, their business and much more. Their why is the strong push to get them past adversity, and just is very connecting and relatable on a lot of different spectrums. Mm-hmm. And then you provide a lot of great insight also. So I definitely want to hit on this one. Is I feel like technology is one of those things that now in 2019, technology is a part of our lives. Like, either we like it or not, as you hit on with the cloud and much more. I feel like it's very important that people try to learn about these different resources that we have and see how they can use it to as a great resource to benefit in their lifestyle or in their business. Because if you are not keeping up with technology in times, I feel like you're going to be left behind. It's like the market. If you don't innovate or try to jump ahead or doing what is present, if you try to stick to what was working 6 or 7 years ago, eventually you will be put out of business or you'll be left behind with the rest of society. So I want you to go just a little bit further more on why it is important to stay innovative, not only in your personal life, but in business as well.
So remaining innovative in your personal life is where that opportunity creation comes from. So I get a number of people who come to me and they're like, you know what, Precious, I really feel like, you know, it's all about opportunity, and I'm not getting the opportunity to do this, and I'm not getting the opportunity to do that. That's when you put yourself in a position to create your own opportunity. And how can you easily do that? Technology, social media. We're not just limited to sort of the people and network that we have in our city or at our school or on campus or within our organization. We have a vast network that we can just reach out to people in Australia and various different companies to gain knowledge from them. But furthermore, to also build your brand so that you're exposing yourself and the skills that you bring to the table and the knowledge that you have, because that is going to create the opportunities. So when I talk to people who say, you know what, I'm really not a fan of technology, I'm not a fan of social media, but they also say they don't have any opportunity, my first question is always, are you on LinkedIn? Are you utilizing LinkedIn? Because LinkedIn is one of those networks. It's probably the best network to create opportunities for, number one, your personal brand and your professional brand as well. And it's the easiest way to really begin cultivating your personal brand.
Yep, and I definitely agree with that, because it's all roots back to mindset too. And it's just like you said, it's almost to the point, it's not just almost, it is to that point. It's, if you're not using technology, you at this day and age, like, you really have no excuse. Because back then, I mean, it would take forever just to make these connections, definitely to different states and things like that. But now you can just easily just DM somebody from another country and have access to all different kinds of resources we never thought was even possible, but not even at an incredible fast rate as well. So this technology is all in favor for us to be the best version of ourselves, impact people's life for the positive, and then also innovate and see how we can take a society together to the next level. So with that, before we close out, I want you to, do you have any last closing comments to leave with the audience, and where can they find you?
Closing comments is, if you are not already branding yourself, understand that the internet is doing it for you. So you must begin branding yourself. As stated, the easiest way to do that to start is LinkedIn, but then further from there, understanding your underlying passions, understanding your purpose. And when people think about their passions and their purpose, they feel like it's so far off that it's something that they have to realize when you're like 40 or 50 years old. And really walking in your purpose is something that you can do right now. Everything that you do should be serving your purpose. And if you feel like it's not serving your purpose, that means that you need to get out of it. But for the most part, things are going to serve your purpose. You can find me. My podcast is The Strategy Behind Branding Yourself. If you also have no idea how to start, download The Strategy Behind Branding Yourself, where we go over all of the tips, tricks, and sort of secrets that are related to branding yourself both online and in person, and just understanding your passions. You can also find any of my information, my videos, my blogs, or writing on my website at www.preciouscprice.com. That's PRECIOUSCPRICE.com. And that's my handle on all social media as well, as Precious C. Price.
Awesome, and she just dropped the mic. Mic drop. But with that said, Glad that you came on and dropped all those great jewels, great information. So we're going to go ahead and close it out. It's your host, Chris Holmes, as always, bringing you inspired guests to help you take it to the next level. So definitely, I hope you were taking notes. If you didn't, you can definitely rewind and take those notes, because you definitely should. As always, I have my special guest by the name of
Precious Prey.
And we're out. Peace and much love. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share with friends and family. Peace.